Not long ago, I guess it was sometimes last year, I made a couple videos, and one was entitled Hoovering. Actually, that may have been as long as 2 years ago. And another video entitled So Many Questions. And this is kind of going to be a combination of those two. And it's really a reminder, or it's a note for those who've not seen those videos, who have not recognized what's going on. So this is under the assumption that you know that you have a narcissist in your life. You, almost without doubt, have noticed that that narcissist in your life asks a lot of questions. And I call that probing. And it comes in a number of forms. A lot of the times, I've noticed it's, well, have you thought of, to get a response from you? Or, what do you think about, or, or I really hope that you, and what they're doing is they're looking for a response for you. They're probing, they're sending out these little probes, and it's hitting here. Do I get a response that I need for my supply? No. Hitting here, hitting here, hitting here, hitting here. They're constantly probing you for weaknesses. Their perception of weaknesses, not your true weaknesses. Their perception of weaknesses that they could somehow, either immediately or in the future, put into their spank bank and use it as they seem fit. And they will fill up that bank. You've heard me speak about the bank quite a bit. So why am I bringing this up now? Because after no contact, there's going to be periods that you remember all of these questions, all of these probes, and you're going to put together some of the abuses that the narcissist has conducted, and you're going to put them together with those probes. You're going to put together your answers, your offering of information, together with things that have really happened following that. And you're going to say, oh man, how stupid was I? I'm going to ask you please not to think that way. Remember, the narcissist's goal is to alter your sense of reality, is to take control and make you think that you don't know what's going on, that you in fact are a bad person. This is their supply. Again, the way they get that is they're constantly probing. More times than not, you're not going to recognize it as it's happening. But there'll come a day where you look back and you put that together. And you're going to start to feel bad. And I'm going to again ask you, don't feel bad. This is the narcissist's motive. Even after their death or their infirmary, today they want to know that when they're gone, they're still hurting you. It's the ultimate screw you. So these individuals will stop at absolutely nothing to get the supply and absolutely nothing to know that they will permanently damage you. So what do? If you're in contact or limited contact with that narcissist, simply don't fall for it. Give your answers or your statements or your comments as a general description. Change the subject. And you'll notice right then and there, when you change the subject, when you're personally being investigated, when the narcissist is wanting information from you, when you change that subject, you'll start to get little bits of rage because they're losing control. They don't have control of the situation. They don't have control of the information that they so desperately want and need. Change the subject. If they keep on coming back and say, yeah, I don't really want to speak about that right now, thank you, and keep it on the level. Remember, when they go low, you go high. Because if you go low, that's going to make you feel worse. It's going to make you feel worse about yourself. It's going to make you feel bad about falling into that trap. And you're worth more. If you're a victim of narcissistic abuse, you're so worth more. And during that abuse, we can't see that. During that abuse, as it's happening, all we can focus is on how bad we are and how shamed we are and how guilty we are. So if you're low contact or still in contact with that narcissist, change that subject. You don't have to answer any questions that you're uncomfortable with. And even questions that are seamlessly uneventful. Every question a narcissist has is for a purpose, is for a reason. If you think that they generally care about something they're asking you about, you gotta get that out of your head. They do not. They have, and we know this, don't we? They have no physical or emotional capacity for empathy, to put themselves in your shoes. They have no capacity to want to help you, thus genuinely concerned about what's going on with you and asking questions. They're incapable of that. What they are capable of is feeding themselves supply, feeding themselves that feeling of, oh, this person's worse than me, and oh, I'm so much better. They're incapable of having a genuine concern about you. If you're in no contact, and issues like this or the aha moments start popping up in your head, those are the tapes. So here's the deal with those. I mentioned over the last 6 months, 8 months, they're going to get better. Promise me they're going to get better. I promise you they're going to get better. And they certainly do. They really do. So I need you to hold on to that and remember that, because I'm not kidding here. I'm not blowing smoke. It gets better. But there's going to be those 2 steps forward and 1 step back, where that tape comes up and you're going to wonder, and you're going to have self-doubt, and you're going to have shame, and you're going to have guilt. And that, whether your narcissist is still alive or not, whether you're in contact or not, that is the goal. That is not your mind thinking. That is the narcissist's tricks and manipulation. You need to I need you please to get that. Because once you do get that, just trust, act as if. Once you do get that, you're going to feel better. And those tapes will diminish and they'll wear out in time. They'll eventually pop up every once in a while, but they're going to diminish and they're not going to have as much as an impact. Recognize them. Recognize the triggers. Recognize when a tape comes up. Immediately follow back and say, hey, this is my narcissist talking. I'm cool. I'm all right. Get yourself in a better space. You'll be able to do that more and more and more as you realize this. So I'll close by saying this. You have no legal, no moral, no any type of obligation to answer questions to a narcissist. You know what's funny? I'm going to share something with you. When I was propounded with questions like this is going to sound kind of sick. I felt bad for the narcissist that they had no one else. So I would answer so they would somehow feel like I cared about them. I would answer and not argue or duck the point so they would feel good about themselves that I was engaged with them. I would answer because I somehow, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, felt obliged to. That I really didn't have that worth. I felt compelled and obligated to answer because I thought the narcissist loved me and genuinely cared about me. If you're dealing with a narcissist, don't let those feelings come in the way. Try to train yourself to identify them, put them right where they belong, and get the hell out of there. Get the hell out of that conversation. And you're going to see after some time just what I mean with that. You're under no obligations to answer anyone about anything. Even in a court of law or in our legal system in the United States, you have the right to not answer a single thing until you've consulted a lawyer. Well, in your natural human right, I don't care if it's a spouse, I don't care if it's a parent, you, as a human individual, have the right not to be probed and not to have to answer every single question. All this is their tool to find your weaknesses, to probe you. Don't fall for it. Anyway, I'm wishing you peace today. I'm hoping you're having a good day. Thank you.